You're just now eating breakfast?
Breakfast for lunch, brunch.
Breakfast
I like
for late brunch. It's like 4
Yeah.
o'clock.
That's true. It's almost like Brinner for him.
A Brinner. Linner.
And I was joking on Brinner. Wow.
Sorry.
Choking on eggs.
Oh, no.
Excuse me.
And this is what we get. Devon's like, go live. Get ready to go. Get ready to go. We get ready to go, and then he dies.
Yeah.
I mean, we always asked if he was going to die. Do it on camera. I'm just
This is
just
true.
saying.
This is
We
true.
love you.
Is that what's going to happen when Miz goes past the 3rd round and you got to die to take those pictures again?
I'm going to die?
Just
No,
you're
you're
going
going
to
to die.
die taking those pictures again.
Yeah, I might. Who knows? Because you're so mean.
We will have an update on The Miz on Dancing with the Stars, which of course means an update here on The Bet that we have on Table Talk. I am Mo Lightning. To my left is Lindsay with an E. Lindsay, how are you?
I am so tired, but I'm excited to be here.
Excellent. And then, of course, the WWE Hall of Famer, Devon Dudley. Brother Devon, how are you, sir?
I'm doing all right, man. Not bad. One day at a time.
That's all we can do.
I got somewhat the day off, but I don't, but I do. But I'm not going through airports and things like that. So
wow, look at this. It took a minute and a half, not even 90 seconds for Lindsay to get hit on.
Hey, Daniel.
Not even 90 seconds.
Buddy. Look, he cares. He's ready to save a life.
Apparently.
I bet he wants to give you CPR. He wants to give you CPR in the worst way.
Sure. Okay. He's like, he's just concerned about my well-being. I get it.
That's very thoughtful. Yes. Well, of course, if you follow us on socials, if you like and subscribe us at Wrestling Audio, then you know that we have one hell of a guest today. I'm kind of scared of our guest, but that just means he's doing a good job. He, of course, former NXT World Champion, current WWE Raw Superstar. Welcome to Table Talk, the one and only KARRION KROSS, everybody.
Welcome.
KARRION, how you doing, brother? What's going on?
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
Thank you for coming on, man. Thank you. Go ahead, Mo.
I got to say, it threw me off talking with Cross a little bit before the show started. You smiling, and I'm just not used to that. It throws me off.
Well, there's not a red light.
Yeah, I mean, this is the gimmick, being civilized. This is how I can get show to show. You get to see the real me on TV, and the civilized guys.
That makes sense.
So enjoy it.
Think about it. If he was him, he would never make it to the arena. He'd get arrested. The stuff that he does in the ring, he can do it in the ring because it's allowed in the ring. But could you imagine outside the ring? And then walking around with the mask on and the gimmick on? They would think Jason was for real. They call him a mass murderer.
Nope.
I like it. He's still all business, though. He smiles a little bit. He says, "Oh, that's me," but he's there. He's focused, and I appreciate that. Have you guys worked together, Cross? Have you and Devon worked a segment together?
Not a segment, but we've been backstage for quite a while now here at WWE.
Yeah, and then I learned that I had met him a while back. You had mentioned to me a story that you met Bubba and I some time ago. I think he froze.
So do you remember meeting Devon back in what, TNA? You said, or?
It was. I believe it was on a series of independent shows.
Oh, okay.
All right. And you don't remember that at all, Devon?
No, I didn't even remember Elias because I wrestled Elias on the show.
I mean,
I didn't even remember till he came up to me in WWE when he got to the main roster and told me that I was one of his matches that he had right before he came up to NXT.
I mean, that's what happens when you get old. I'm just saying. Hey. What?
Got a question for you, Devon. Do you have your mic headset on?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yeah. There you go. A little bit closer to you now. Cool. Appreciate
so I guess Lindsay didn't hear what I said about her.
She was ignoring it.
What? I was just drinking my water.
Drinking, Lindsay.
Water.
Your questions,
hydrated.
Your questions and comments for KARRION KROSS, very much welcome. In the meantime, I actually want to challenge you real quick, KARRION. I want to challenge your knowledge of other crosses in pop culture. All right. So we're going to start easy, and then we're going to get progressively harder here. So we'll start with this one here. In hockey, the name of the move where the stick is used to knock an opponent. What is that?
Cross check.
Cross check. All right. We got a good one there. Lindsay, did you know that one?
I sure did.
Okay. No, you didn't. All right. Number 2, your co-WWE superstar who is almost a superhero.
That would be Nikki Cross, who is also Glenn Cross, and she does have superpowers. So that does not work.
Yeah, she great person. We've had her on Table Talk. God, it was a year ago or so, but great personality. All right, we go back to the 90s for this one. He's 2 for 2. The 90s hip-hop duo best known for wearing their clothes backwards.
Chris Cross.
Yeah.
Oh. Make you
I knew that
jump.
One. That's for a second one I knew. I knew Nikki.
That's kind of surreal.
It's not for me, though. Sorry.
Oh, okay. All right.
Sorry.
All right. Here we go. 3 for 3. A spiced, sweet, baked good traditionally eaten on Good Friday.
Are we going to say a croissant?
No. Technically,
Can I guess? Can I guess?
Yeah,
it's also a song, right? It's a little like
Lindsay.
What?
No, that's my answer, Lindsay.
My name's not. It doesn't have cross in
a
it.
Spicy, sweet, baked good, eaten on Good Friday.
Hot cross buns.
That's what I was gonna say.
Hot cross buns. Yes. All right.
See, that was my. Hold on. That was my Shrek innuendo. Only the adults got what I said, not the kids.
A lot of kids watching this show, I'm sure. And then finally, all right, you're still gonna have a winning record after this one. The American rock band Black Veil Brides. They had I think a number 8 single this year. What is the name of that song?
Scarlet Cross.
Yes, he knows it.
Oh,
all right.
I didn't know that.
I mean,
I don't know.
I would have to ask that because his relationship with Scarlett. So, I mean, if you didn't know it, I'd be disappointed.
Good song.
It is a good song. All right. 4 out of 5. I think that actually, of all the guests we've done a pop culture quiz like that, I think you've scored the best, my friend.
Oh, yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah, so far I've scored the worst.
Yeah, it's true.
There it is.
Bless.
There it is. And we've gotten this question a few times already. Since we mentioned Scarlett, where is Scarlett? What's going on?
Scarlett is hanging out on the patio right now.
Nice.
I know.
Right. There you go.
Cool.
This is what I can say without being deliberately cryptic. We are waiting for something to finish taking its course, but she's very good, and she's been training like a maniac, like she always does. You can expect to see her anytime or any place.
Awesome. Do you find it harder or easier to work with a loved one on screen?
Much easier, and I would have anticipated it. It's nothing against her; it's more of a me thing. I would have anticipated it to be a lot more difficult. I've worked really sparingly tag situations on the independents, especially in Mexico. We had a lot of 6-mans. It was a great way to showcase a lot of people all at once. Sometimes that can be a headache working with other performers, not because people are difficult, because everyone has their own subjective opinion or view on what the best way is to entertain someone for the time allotted. But with her and I, if we're not thinking the exact same thing, we are thinking the opposites in a way that complements what we're trying to achieve. And I think that is like a personal chemistry more than anything. And it translated to business, which was awesome.
Oh, that's great. That is outstanding. I know when I got into radio 20 years ago, the big thing that they told us is don't marry into the business, which I did, and I'm divorced now, but
good job.
Thank you. It was easier to talk about work because people understood it, but at the same time, me and my ex developed, that was the only discussion. Do you guys, do you know when to turn work off?
Yeah. I mean, so when we're at work, we're completely on. And we have like a work gear. When we're at work, we don't really discuss anything personal whatsoever. It's not difficult for either one of us. We're trying to give 110% of our energy for the performance. So it's almost like if you go to the gym with your buddy. When you go to the gym with your buddy, you don't talk about anything negative. you're going to put yourself under resistance. It's going to be rough for the time you're going to be there. You're going to train really hard. You don't bring up anything negative. What you're going to do, the workload is going to be difficult enough. So when her and I are at work, there's no negativity going on whatsoever. It's not even a conversation her and I have ever had to have. It's just the way we work. I think we were like that before we met. And when we come home, periodically, if an idea comes up, we discuss it, we write it down, and we leave it on a piece of paper so we don't have to retain it and think about it all day. So we just very organically have a very easy structured system. Her and I like to be outdoors quite a bit. If we can, we'll go to the beach, or prior to traveling, being all crazy, we would travel quite a bit as well, which we're looking forward to getting back to. But no issue there.
Awesome.
It's great. It's healthy and great.
The microphone is off there, Devon.
Oh, bless his heart. Hey, buddy.
Yeah, try it again.
Oh,
Try
no.
again. One more. Single click. For that did.
Precious, though. Look, you're
How
so
about now?
precious. Oh, look
Yay!
at, there he is. Yay,
Okay.
he's so cute. Look at him.
So when you work at, you said you work out, what's called in the gym. Do you find having a problem like some guys do working out with their significant other where they want to joke and play and not take it seriously? Or is she like dead on serious in that gym? No nonsense, don't want to talk, just lift the weights and get in shape.
She's no nonsense. She likes lifting heavy, so she knows. Like,
that's
you
what
know
I
mean?
love.
She's coming
Yes.
in. She's about deadlift. She's about squats. She's about picking up heavy stuff and moving it around and getting it out as quickly as possible.
I hate it when you take a spouse or a girlfriend to the gym and you're trying to get a serious workout. And all they want to do is joke and talk and play. I don't want to do this. If I do this, is this okay? How about you shut up and lift? How about that? How about
If you
shut
take
up?
me, I will get out of there as soon as possible.
I would choke you. I would probably wind up choking you.
Me?
I know you. And you're,
No, I would just be like,
you
you're
drive me
ready to
crazy.
go? Are you done yet? Let's go. I get you out of there quick. You'd be like,
Exactly. You see
lift
what I
that
mean,
weight.
Cross?
You're
See what I
done.
mean?
Why
See,
do
I
you
gotta
do
work
that
out with a girl
15
like-
times? Just do it once.
I gotta work out
Get
with a
out.
girl like Ronda Rousey, someone like in that field, Ronda Rousey, Layla Ali, Serena Williams. Because I mean, look, Serena Williams, she can't get any jacked than Serena. She is freaking jacked. You know, so I'd rather work out with women like that. I cannot work out with women outside the business, or not on the same kind. I cannot do it because they can't do it. We know when the burn hurts. When it hurts, you go even harder. They're like, oh, I can't do it.
It
Oh,
hurts.
stop. No, I don't want to
Torture.
do it. See, I can't. I rest my point. My point case.
They're
but
just
there you go.
two different people in this world. Just agree to disagree. Sorry.
Now, see, I'm scared to work out with Ronda Rousey because I can imagine. Get up, boy. Come on, I'm gonna kick you. Get up again. Get up again. Ronda, stop. I'm like seeing double of you. Stop.
She looks amazing, by the way. Being
She does, after
postpartum
having the
so
baby.
soon. She looks freaking amazing. Sorry.
Absolutely.
So, how is making the transition from NXT to the main roster now? Like, what part was the hardest, or what part was the easiest in doing that?
Well, I mean, it's a completely different experience in the way that the show runs. Mainly for me, because like we're not at the PC. So the days, I'll give you an example. So CWC, Capital Wrestling Center, where we would shoot NXT, the day felt, in terms of like how the show was laid out, very premeditated in terms of the direction we knew we were going to be going, and everything was spaced out, time allotted. Like it was just like, it just felt more concrete. Whereas with Raw, there's so many moving parts. There's a lot of things that are changing moment to moment. So being able to adapt and change on the fly, I don't want to necessarily say it was hard. It's more fun. Like I enjoy stuff like that. I don't mind pressure whatsoever. Sometimes, when you're backstage, like certain things like time and stuff either gets extended or cut and stuff like that. For me, it's been really fun. I don't necessarily know if I observe the transition from NXT to Raw as necessarily hard or easy, but more, it's just in general a really cool learning experience. And to see how many people in comparison to CWC to Raw in terms of staff are a part of it, like there's just wires around the entire place. Like how many people come together every Monday to put that show together from the ground up is incredible. And it's like very inspiring to see that many people working together to put that show on. People don't realize they see only what we show them. So from everything backstage, everyone working together, this massive creation, it's pretty awesome. That's kind of how I observe it all, but it is a totally different experience.
Absolutely, 100%. And you know something? People can hate Vince, people can love Vince, but for that man to be able to, like you said, to produce something like that, to get everybody on one accord in one show to build for Monday Night Raw, it's truly amazing. Sometimes you have to be the tyrant to get your point across, because if not, people step all over you.
Well, of course, especially at the top of any business, it gets very cutthroat. That's just the nature of being at the top of any business. And I mean, all I can tell you is that's the only guy I've ever wanted to work for since I was a kid. It's the only job I've ever really wanted. So I'm very happy to be
anybody.
Cool.
I think, you know what, and they're lying if they say they don't. I think every little boy or little girl who grows up watching pro wrestling and says, I want to do that, the WWE is always going to be their first place they would want to go. And some people will sit there and go, no, that's not true. Okay.
Okay. Sure.
Okay.
That's funny.
And of course, when you moved up to the main roster, you had a bit of a new look to you, new entrance. People asking, like Sebastian here, who came up with the mask idea?
That mask.
Man, I'm not entirely sure at this point, because I had received a briefing about, I think it was a creative team conversation. I guess it was a series of people coming up with attempting to expand on the original concept that was presented during NXT. So I guess it was a team of people. But the direction that I think they were attempting to go in was essentially a gladiator idea. So I had introduced the lower body gear at NXT when I competed against Finn Balor to get the title back. And my original concept with that was kind of like, this feels like what the Coliseum days would be like. We're just in this circular area. There's people all around it. This is like what the Coliseum would be at that time. And with the character presentation of Karrion Kross, the development of that character, this wasn't just a regular match people were going to be getting into. This guy could light you up with a shot that you're going to carry with you for the rest of your life. You're going into this match, whether you win or lose, you might not be coming out the same way. And I was really attempting to project that sort of energy into it. And I think what they wanted to do when we were coming up was play off of that. And so that's kind of where we're at right now with it.
Very
That's
nice.
great. And watching you in the ring, like when the new guys come up, I always like to say, with me and Bubba, like working with these guys. And watching you and your style in the ring, absolutely. Absolutely. Love to work with you, man. I mean, I wish I could have, but, Father Time took its toll. So, I can't do it no more. So, but it would have been a pleasure to work with you. You are truly very gifted soul in this business, and you're doing very well for yourself. Thank you very much, man.
Oh, thank you sincerely. And honestly, not to blow smoke at you, I'm not saying this because I feel like I need to return the compliment, but like the entire, everything out of the 80s into the middle of, like 2K, where like, those are like huge inspirational. That's kind of where I drew my inspiration from. Like everything that you guys are doing in ECW, and then the transition when you guys went up, and then you guys had like all the ladder matches. You guys introduced Rhino, you guys had Spike, and all that stuff. For me, it was awesome to see everything I was in love with in ECW coming into WWE. And man, it was just the whole entire thing jacked up on a world stage. So a lot of what you guys did really kind of put my imagination in that direction. Obviously, too, with the ideology of larger than life with Vince McMahon and WWE, finding these people, finding these characters that you can't just see at a Starbucks. You can't just walk down the street and see that guy. The only place to see characters like that from that time period, and then what I'm attempting to do right now, is at a WWE show, right? So.
And who caught your attention when you were a kid? You said you wanted to work for WWE, WWF your whole life. Who brought you into the sport?
Well, honest to God, the very first memory I could ever even recall, the earliest one, was Warrior pinning Hogan. Like that was imprinted in me, and as I developed into an adult from a kid, that moment hit me in waves. I kept asking myself from a psychological standpoint, why, what was it about that? What was it about it? Because to be honest with you, I don't even really remember the match, but it was that moment, that singular moment that stuck with me literally forever. Of all the things you remember and forget as a kid, it was that one moment. And for me, if I psychoanalyze it and I break it down, it was the spectacle of it. When you sit back and you look at that, whether you're a fan or not, it's one guy in the ring, it's another guy on the ground. and the whole building of people looking in one direction, singularly, all that energy right then and there, creating that moment, that did something to me. And I said, I want to do that. I want to create a moment like that people are going to carry with them for the rest of their lives. That was it for me. I mean, I love sports entertainment and pro wrestling and all the intricacies and all that, but creating a moment like that for somebody, that's powerful to me. I mean, I still have it. So that was it. They were the original ones, and then expanding beyond that in terms of like in-ring stuff. Taz was a huge influence. I mean, you could probably see that in some of my ring work. Gary Albright.
Wait, hold on. Do you do this?
Hey, brother. Cross my arms.
Hey, brother. Don't use my chokehold, brother. If you do, you better ask for permission.
That was like, you know, I mean, all of the throws and stuff. I grew up with catch wrestling family, so when I would go to practice, I'd see him doing that stuff on TV. Gary Albright, Dr. Death, those two guys, that type of stuff, because I was involved with like grappling and stuff like that as a kid, really spoke to me. In terms of characters, I would definitely say Raven, Dudley's, the way Sandman would be able to capture a whole building without being able to say one word. It was just a look. Just be able to turn his head and that whole side of the building would just tear apart. That's power. That's power without even having to be able to say anything. I mean, little things like that. I mean, I had my favorites from all over the place. I had tons of favorites in WWF too. I was a very big Diesel fan when I was a kid. Psycho Sid, Brian Pillman. You know, to this day, everybody has a preconceived notion of what it is that they're watching that we do. And everybody thinks they know exactly what they're watching. But when Pillman was on the TV, you had no idea. And that is something that cannot be taught. You've got to have that. Same with Bobby Heenan and Roddy Piper. To this day, Jerry Lawler too, Andy Kaufman, that whole thing. And I could go on forever, man. I've been deep into this since I was a kid. People would be shocked.
That's awesome.
Cool. That's really cool.
I love all the love for ECW. Something that we were just talking last week, that Devon will claim that WWE is probably his more successful run, but he gets the majority of fans asking him about ECW.
Well, I will say this too, and just because I grew up watching him, a lot of people don't separate what he did from ECW WWE because there was such a strong level of continuity that carried over. You know what I mean? So that's my opinion.
Okay, awesome. Quick question right here from.
Before we go to the question, I just want to say to your point, hold that question, Mo. The fact you said about the Sandman, how he would captivate just by looking, you know, and you look in a certain area and the whole arena would go to their feet and start acting crazy. And you know, the song played a big part of it too, "Into the Sandman" by Metallica. And here's the deal: a lot of African Americans would come to me and tell me, they're like, "Man, that song, I love it that he comes out to. I mean, the Sandman is so such a, but what's the name of that song? Who does that music?" And that's when you know they didn't know, but the song captivated them enough to want to know what the song was. Did not like heavy metal, did not like rap music, did not like rock and roll, but yet they were interested in that song because Sandman played such an integral part with that music and captivating an audience. It just made people who didn't even want to know the song by Metallica, Sandman, know about it.
That's awesome. I remember a reverse thing happening. It's a little off subject, but I remember the reverse thing happened with Mike Tyson and Public Enemy when I was a kid. I grew up around people and adults that didn't listen to rap or hip hop, but because they saw a highlight of Mike Tyson blasting people, they're like, "Oh, what's the name of that song?" It'd be on the radio. I'll turn it. Wait, what is that, Public Enemy? Oh, turn that up.
Yep.
That is awesome.
It's amazing how the littlest things can bring a nation together.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
It's amazing. And if we actually pay attention, maybe we can come together as a nation stronger. You know? I mean, think about it.
Well, it's a nice thought.
Imagine if we're all on the same page and try to do this. It'd be phenomenal.
There you go.
See, professional wrestling has played such an influence.
Yeah.
Sure.
And Enter Sandman, by the way, celebrating 30 years as of August. I think actually I finally listened to they have like 40 different artists covered their music for a special release. I listened to the whole thing yesterday, and I got to tell you, it's odd hearing like 8 Enter Sandmans, different versions in a row. It just throws me off. Have you checked that out, Karrion?
I haven't, but I did read in my news feeds that they were coming up on that. That's awesome. I love stuff like that. The cover albums where all the bands come in and do all that stuff. That's pretty cool.
Sure.
Absolutely. Now, the question that I brought up on screen a moment ago, what are your thoughts on NXT 2.0?
It's pretty awesome. I think just aesthetically watching, with the amount of different colors and everything being brighter, the visual aesthetic actually makes the program feel like it has a little bit more energy to it. That was my first biggest takeaway. I'm like a huge like film nerd, so when I see something, I'm not just watching what they're showing me. I'm looking at just everything. I'm looking at the shots. I'm looking at the transitions. I'm looking at the cuts, the music, how they're introducing ideas and concepts and laying it out. So far, I think it's awesome. And I'm very happy to be seeing some of my buddies in the PC getting some airtime because they've been chomping at the bit. And, I think there's a pretty bright future, pun intended, for everybody there.
Cool.
Awesome.
Now, Karen, how long were you in NXT before you actually were seen on TV? Because to me, maybe I'm missing this, but it didn't seem like you were there that long before they put you right on TV.
It was almost right to TV. I believe January was when I arrived, January 2020. And then obviously things got a little wonky everywhere. And then, we went to TV pretty quickly. I want to say it was like April, I wanted to say. As soon as I got in, we began developing ideas and concepts, and I was wrapping stuff off with Hunter, and we were taking, and Scarlett, the three of us were collaborating all these ideas together, and we put that together very methodically. So.
That is cool.
No.
That is cool because a lot of people, they're there for like 3, 4, 5 years before they actually go up to see TV because they're not ready. But that just gives a testament to you.
Absolutely.
You came in ready. You came in with your bags packed and ready to go. When you got that phone call, you were ready. You didn't leave anything unturned. You didn't leave anything unfinished. You brought it and you were there. And look at you now.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's phenomenal.
That is. Now, so quite often when we have guests on the show, I like to ask Devon what their Dudley name would be if you would have been able to be a part of the Dudleys. But this time around, I switched it up, and I wanted to ask the question.
Karen, hold on. If you want to leave now, you can leave now. Don't worry about it.
No, don't do it. No.
No.
No, we gotta do this.
Yeah, we gotta do this because I flipped the script this time around, and I asked Devon what it would be like if he was trying to enter KARRION Kross's world and like the entrance attire and whatnot. And this is what he sent back to me. I don't know if he really understands what you're going for here.
What the hell? Wait a minute.
What?
Why does my nipples look so dark and big? What the hell is that?
Those are your areolas. They're pretty big, bud.
Yeah.
You can
get that. You can get that reduced.
What's wrong with me? This is what you sent me, buddy. This is not the warrior. This is not the Sparta thing that he's going for. Come on, man.
Okay, number one, if I did not send you that, I would not let my secrets out.
Oh.
All right. I'd be a black ball in my mouth. It would be a red ball.
I have a blank spot right here that can go.
I'm just saying, you got me all back.
You got the glasses, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, you nice add-on, Mo.
He's just undercover. That's all. He's just undercover.
Real cute.
Yes, I was trying to be undercover, but you had to just bring me out. Now the dirt sheets are going to be saying not
the
only
nipples.
did Devon come out the
Gave
closet,
it away.
but now he's trying to, stay in the closet.
Nipperoni.
Nipperoni.
That's amazing.
And somebody chose to ignore Devon's outfit and just stare at it.
Thanks, Brian. Thank you. Yeah. That's it's very funny.
Thanks for getting rid of that image.
Oh,
hey,
Brian.
if he sent it to me, I had to share it with everybody. So
yeah. I mean, no, you should have kept that to yourself. There, don't share it.
So before we let you go, KARRION, the whole fall and pray, the TikTok, the counting down, where and how did that come to be?
Well, when I first broke into the business at the independent level, I was looking at everyone who was currently on the local show that I was in, and I got my break in Las Vegas. And everyone seemed to have all of the, and I don't mean this pretentiously at all, they had the usual suspect of gimmicks all on the show. There was a There was a shoot wrestler on the show. There was the loudmouth. There was like a honking tonk spinoff. There was like a group of dark figures that were there. There was the big man, the small man, David Goliath, all that. And I was like, I want to get on this show. And I understand the concept of, you're getting on a show because you're supposed to be contributing to the program. You're not just getting on because you want to wrestle. Everyone wants to wrestle. Like, how can you contribute to the program? So I was thinking about some of my immediate interests in terms of character development and what I like to watch, what I was into. And at the time, a movie was on called Dark City. I don't know if anyone would still be able to find it. It's a little bit of like an obscure film, but it had a lot to do with time. And then following that, I was watching a lot of programs about the Richard Nixon administration era. And at that time, they introduced something called the Doomsday Clock. And it was basically like this propaganda piece that was like just terrifying people. Every single night they'd come on, they had this clock and they were talking about the Cold War and all this stuff going on in Russia. And like, they were telling people like, as this conflict begins to expand, the clock is going down and we're going to nuclear war. Like, they were just terrorizing people every night, and they put the TV on and watch it. It was insane. And I was just thinking to myself, like, I can't imagine a world that was like that, where they were just like gassing people up every night with this. And then I kind of, at the time, I married the two things that I was watching. Something semi-supernatural with time and clocks in that time period where you're telling people, hey, I'm coming for you. And here's the clock. And it's ticking down. And I thought that, there's clocks and time everywhere. Anytime anyone see a time, the time or a clock, they begin thinking about this character. And so that just began to develop and expand. And I had a bit of a shoot background. And so I kind of wanted to marry the larger than life ideology of character work and then the shoot stuff where people were seeing it on TV with combat sports. And that's how I developed that character.
I love it. That's awesome. That's awesome. So glad you weren't watching like SpongeBob and Friends that day, because that
would be
wouldn't
weird.
Work out.
Yeah, I don't think that would
work out.
SpongeBob and Nightmare on Elm Street.
That would be pretty awesome. Well, know that
something's already been taken from.
Go ahead,
Something
Devon.
was already taken from Something was already taken from Nightmare on Elm Street.
What was it?
Was by the legendary Hawk. What a rush!
Oh my God, that went over my head.
That was when he had the needles in his.
Yes.
Yeah, that was when he had the needles, and the girl was a drug addict, and he took the needles, pointed in his. What a rush! And he did with the rolling of his eyes backwards. Next thing you know, about a month later, you see Hawk on TV doing it, and everybody knew it was Freddy because that part of the scene in that movie got over so good that everybody was talking about it. So the minute Hawk did it, we knew exactly what it was a reference to.
That's awesome. Remember, that was Dream Warriors. I remember that now. As soon as you said that, I connected.
Yep, Dream Warriors. Yep. All the kids were in the crazy house, and Freddy was killing the kids in the crazy house.
That's right.
I've never seen it, so I don't know.
Love it.
That'll probably make you
put it on.
Yeah.
No,
It'll make her cry.
No, I don't want to cry or be scared. It's fine. I'm good.
Lindsay's the type of person that's got to see with the lights on after watching a scary movie.
Yeah, and watch a funny movie after.
That makes sense.
Or watch it during the day and then watch a funny movie after, and then not sleep for 3 days. It's fine.
Do you have a favorite scary movie there, Cross?
I do. First off, I'm a huge retro horror nerd. I love all of that stuff. My favorite horror movie of all time, generally, because I go back and forth, but most commonly I think is probably Hellraiser. It was a Clive Barker film. Very big fan of Clive Barker's work. I've drawn a lot of inspiration over the years from my initial inspirations of putting a character piece together from a lot of his work. And I thought that movie stood out amongst a lot of other horror movies because there was a lot of psychological satires that were in that movie, sexually, physically, metaphorically, philosophically. Just like it's sort of like where stoicism and nihilism met somewhere in the middle, and it was romanticizing the idea of suffering. And I thought that's a very difficult thing to pull off in a movie, let alone a horror movie, because no offense to people who like horror movies, I do too, but there's a very specific demographic of people that they are attracting with horror movies. Like if you put on the common horror movie right now, it's a lot of pop outs. There's a little crew that talks like this. There in every movie. Like, you know what I mean? It's like there's not a lot to it, but if you watch Hellraiser and you're really paying attention to what's going on, there's a lot of character development with each person in that film, and that's my go-to.
That's awesome. Great choice. Great choice. Do you have any time to do any like horror binge watching as we get closer to Halloween?
I always make time for that.
Yes.
It's not a game.
I love it. I know we gotta let you go here. Go about your business, but before we do, if people want to follow you on social media, where can they do so?
WWE KARRION KROSS, Instagram and Twitter. I keep it simple, very easy to find.
Nice.
Excellent. Well, thank you for everything you do. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep your domination going, and we'll see you on TV here in just a couple days.
Yep. Thank you very much, Dan, for coming on the show. Thank you, buddy.
Thank you.
Thank you. Froze out at the end
Yeah,
anyway.
perfect timing, I guess. So
yeah,
it's gonna freeze. Best time to do it, I guess. I don't like scary movies, you guys. I can't.
Really?
I don't want to think about it. I think it's the pop-ups or the pop-outs. I can't. It scares me.
Jump scare.
Well,
The jump scare. No, thank you.
My scary movie of all time, of course, is The Exorcist, which I'm scared to death
Really?
to watch, but it's my favorite of all time. I mean, most people can't say that about a movie that scares them that bad. That wouldn't be their favorite horror film. But
Yeah, that's kind of weird. You're weird.
And you're just now noticing that.
I mean, I'm just emphasizing a fact that we already knew.
Yeah.
I think the people that write in for maybe the last 6 months found out right away how weird I was.
Well,
I mean,
I knew.
Look at the picture. Look at the picture I sent Mo.
Yeah.
That's true. That's kind of
Look at
weird.
that.
I
Look at
have
that. I mean,
yeah.
his nipples take up like half his chest.
Yeah, that's really weird.
Yeah.
You're weird. Nipples are weird. I don't know.
That is odd.
That's a beautiful thing.
Speaking of odd, so you talk about how The Exorcist, I mean, no stranger to that topic here on Table Talk, but The Exorcist, your favorite horror movie, nowhere to be found on the top 20 scariest movies of all time list, according to science.
I don't understand.
Science, guys. Science.
Well, yeah, science, because science doesn't believe in stuff. Science just thinks that we all evolved from apes and stuff
Science provides facts that
so in this case, they monitor people watching the movies, and it's based on heart rate and everything.
Oh, cool. I'm glad they
yes.
did not
well,
monitor
let me put
me.
it this way. If they
Every movie would be scary.
If they would have done this in 1973, when that came out, it's totally different.
Sure.
They would have been able to do that with people totally different. I mean, the line, if you go on YouTube and watch the opening, how do they call it? The opening of The Exorcist. It'll pull up all these different videos of how America was going crazy at the movie theaters for this thing. People were walking out, throwing up, fainting, So, I mean, again, different time, different era. So back then, a 12-year-old girl taking her head and twisting it completely around was horrifying. Spitting out green pea soup, horrifying, But yet nowadays, people know that it's not real, of course. Not that they didn't know back then, but you see the making of The Exorcist. You see how they did things, so it kind of takes away from it, And, I mean, some people think it's not real, but you ask certain people in the church, and they'll tell you they've experienced something very similar to an exorcism many times.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say back when The Exorcist first came out, I remember hearing stories that The Exorcist, the whole idea, the profession, the thought behind what an exorcist does was relatively unknown. So a lot of people were not aware that it involved, spirits and demons and stuff like that. So you would have guys trying to take their lady friend out to a romantic dinner in a movie, not realizing what they were about to get into.
Lady friend was.
No, but give me a break here. It's The Exorcist. The title says it all.
Okay, Devon, I think it's scary, and I have never watched it all the way through. So
you've never watched it all the way through?
I have in like bits and pieces, but I haven't sat down and watched it from start to finish. Because it's scary. It's scary.
See, and I don't think that, Daniel. I mean, I really don't think that. I don't think Rosemary. I've seen Rosemary's Baby plenty of times. I can sit through it. I can watch that in my own hotel room by myself.
There's something about.
But there's
just watching it right now.
Huh?
You're watching it right now. It's in the background.
Yeah.
No, it ain't.
Wait, is it? How's that? That's weird.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
A woman getting pregnant by Satan, a demon, what have you. I'm not saying that's not scary, especially for the time that Rosemary Baby came out. But scarier than The Exorcist? Listen, all you gotta do is read Revelations to know that what happened, with the exception of the pea soup, of course, the stabbing of the cross and the turning of the head, demonic possession is real. Especially if you grew up in the church, you know it's real. You've been taught that. Some seen it, witnessed it. So Rosemary, the Antichrist has not come yet, because if it did, we'd be in Armageddon right now. So we know that hasn't happened. So, but demon possession, if you read your Bible, has. And if that's the case, the Antichrist didn't come. I ain't scared.
This topic took
but you are scared.
a radically different turn. I did
so
not.
I really would like to know what the scariest movies are. But also, I kind of am interested in what Devon's talking about. So
I'm fine with it.
It's very interesting. I mean, Daniel, I'm not saying that you're wrong. I mean, Rosemary's Baby might have scared you to death, but I guarantee you, if you took a poll on, people that, when they were little or what have you, what was the scariest movie, Rosemary's Baby or The Exorcist? People will say The Exorcist. I've never heard someone other than Daniel say that it was the scariest.
You did. You did. Thanks for that.
Yeah, you got them all worked up.
No, I'm not worked up. I was just expressing myself. Just because I'm expressing myself don't mean I'm mad or worked up or it's time to testify. No. I'm just explaining my side of the story. That's all. But listen, there are some people that will say probably it's scary, but I've never heard it before. I've always heard to this day The Exorcist being the scariest movie ever for a lot of people. And look at Lindsay. It's been out how long? And she still can't watch it by herself, nor can she sit through a whole one. I've never heard anybody say that about Rosemary's Baby.
That movie too, I've not been able to sit and watch it. I've never watched that one.
Have you even tried?
Again.
Too
scary. No, I didn't. No, I've not.
Listen, Lindsay would probably think Bambi is too scary.
It's so I can't watch it because it hurts my heart.
Shut up, Daniel.
There you go.
That's only for you, Byron. Shut up, Byron.
It's okay. I get it too all the time.
So taking the religion versus science aspect out of the conversation, just looking at heart rate and people watching these different movies, The Exorcist did not make the list. And the reason why I believe that is because there is a lot of downtime in that movie. Now, I think when you get to those scary scenes, when you get to Regan being, possessed, then I think it spikes up. But I think the study was looking for minute to minute scaredness.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
And I don't know if Devon's frozen or just behind.
I mean,
he's frozen. He's scared stiff.
Scared stiff. Was frozen.
Look at that. Look at that.
Fear. Frozen in fear.
Yeah. Wow. I'm gonna blow this up real quick.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, bye.
Oh, now he's in a vortex. Now he's gone.
Look, he's getting dizzy. Look at that.
It's like The Exorcist, like the head that spins around.
Yep. And now pea soup's coming.
Yeah.
Oh man, look out. Yeah. Is he coming back? This is awkward.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just gonna move him. I'm just gonna kick him from the studio. Make him reconnect.
Make him work for it.
All right, so let's see. He's trying to reconnect.
Mm-hmm.
I know there were some internet issues there. Yeah, someone calling the priest. He's a reverend, so he should be able to help him out there. What about Salem's Lot? Very scary. True.
Never heard of it.
Shocker.
I know, it was crazy.
Did a Nightmare Before Christmas scare you?
No.
No, that one didn't scare you.
No.
Okay.
I like that movie.
Okay. All right. That's good to know.
Yeah. Coraline's good too.
Really? I don't know. Coraline was one of those movies that kind of bored me. Like,
really? Well,
first time I saw it, I'm like, wow, this is really depressing for a kids movie.
Yeah, but it's not a kids movie, is it?
I mean, it's Leica, so it's animation, so
gotcha.
They do, cater more towards kids, but
sure.
I did think that was a little bit on the depressed side.
No, I see that too, but I liked it. Is he back? Yay! Good. Things are getting so awkward. Just me and Mo.
Now I miss what you said. I miss what you said about the heart rate.
I thought maybe you just didn't agree with it, so you hung up.
You're like, that's a lie.
I'm out.
I think somebody grabbed me from behind.
Apparently.
Is Taylor up there?
Well,
No, just saying that The Exorcist has a lot of downtime between scenes, and
I agree with that. Yes, I can see that.
And the study, I think, was more minute to minute, kind of looking at the heart rate and see where things go. So this updated to 2021. And actually, what's funny about the top 5, and that's all I'll cover here today, but the top 5 are all from the 2000s on into 2021.
Really?
Where were they?
All right. So the number 1, again, according to science. Looking at heart rate, would be the 2020 movie Host.
Never heard of it.
It is it's an online thing, like they're hosting a quarantine party, like a Zoom party and whatnot. And I think if I recall correctly, it's like friends start getting taken out and they can only watch through the camera what's going down. And again, according to science, the scariest movie, 2020
Science.
Host.
I will not be watching that to see if it's true. I just will take science's word for it.
Yeah. Number 2 would be Sinister from 2012.
I've heard of that. Never seen
Which I remember seeing, but I don't remember a damn thing about it.
Okay, well, that just speaks volumes right there.
Insidious from 2010. The Conjuring, the first one.
Never watched that.
I like The Conjuring. I don't know if it's overly scary, but I definitely like it. And then the 2018 movie Hereditary was number 5.
Never seen that one.
Hereditary. I don't remember that one.
Yeah. So got a couple questions here. It's off topic from the horror movies here. But Sebastian wants to know what happened to your action figures.
I was going to bring that up.
To mine, and then also got Brian asking if I've made my move to Atlanta.
I was going to ask that too.
And then Dan says, look behind him. You can see the empty nails from the removed pops. He hasn't moved yet.
I know,
correct.
Dan, thank you. That's the conclusion I jumped to as well.
You know,
you guys are reading my mind?
Don't really know what happened. It was it's on the corporate level, but I can't go down there until I get offered a contract. It got held up. I don't know if it's from the pandemic or something else. Maybe the company doesn't really want to hire me, but so I'm still here. I'm hoping by the time we have a show next week, I'm in Atlanta, but I'm on their schedule right now, so I don't know.
Yeah, we'll probably finally be on the same time zone. Gosh, living in the future.
Right.
Past. We're in the future. We're in the future.
I forgot about that.
Devon always forgets about it. We're going on like 2 years as a show, and I've just stopped even trying to acknowledge that I'm not in Eastern time. I just say everything Eastern time for you guys, and that's it.
Listen, as many places as I've been and traveled, I can't keep up anymore.
And you're old.
That's fair. And you're old. Yeah.
Hey, listen, you got to understand, most of my friends never made it to 49, so I'm happy and proud to say that I have.
Yeah.
There you
all
go.
You young bucks,
yeah.
all you young bucks out there that like to say I'm old, you better hope you, number 1, look as good as me at 49, and number 2, hope to be seeing 49.
It's true.
Okay.
All us Matt and Nick
fair.
Jacksons out there who need to...
Especially the millenniums.
Those millenniums.
Yeah, millenniums.
Boy.
Millenniums.
They're quick to call us old, boy. Sit down, old man.
You know, we are millennials, right?
Yeah. I mean, elder millennials, but still.
Like I said, millenniums.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, and you're old. I guess he's right because he's old.
Do you get into Halloween at all, Devon? Do you decorate or anything for Halloween?
We did this year. We decorated the outside as like Chris. We have. I should have taken a picture. We have floats like Christmas.
Yeah. What can I say, Dan? Can't be like Devon. Sorry.
Oh, Dan.
That was worth it right there.
We might not dress up. Well, I might not dress up this year, but I don't know. Taylor might dress up. I know the girls and the boys are dressing up, so we'll have to see.
Awesome, Lindsay. What about you? Do you get into Halloween at all?
I was hoping to have me. I was hoping to have me a golf cart by then. So when you two come back down here to Florida, if we ever want to go out and just not take the car and just smell the fresh air and see the alligators in the lakes and stuff.
I'm good. I'll stay in the house.
No, I think Lindsay, you should come and sit up in the front when I drive.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, sure. Okay.
That way, when I get close to the alligator, I just push you out.
Knew it. God, you're so mean.
And do you get into Halloween there, Lindsay?
I do a little bit. I usually have some orange lights, and I have bats hanging up in my kitchen right now. They're real bats. So I'm gonna break out the fake ones later.
Wow,
but
not funny.
It
Not
also
funny,
depends. Well, listen, we have bats.
That hurt.
We have bats here.
You don't
like
have them
bats
in your house.
No, not yet.
Yeah,
Probably.
I have them in the house.
I have a really old house, and I will probably have a bat in here at some point. Sorry.
Yeah, we have like 60 of them.
Okay, that's the I.
Have you named them all?
Are they still
No,
there?
they were in. No, they're gone. They were in the room.
Okay. I remember this.
I'm like, there goes Scooter. Hey, Scooter is my favorite bat.
Or Spike. What a Spike. Okay.
The reason I ask about Halloween is because a new decoration is supposedly available and has not sold out yet. So either one of you, maybe both of you, could pick up this item. Me, I'm moving. I probably shouldn't do it, but you guys
see it first.
can see what.
No, I think that Devon.
That's an inflatable. It is a real Halloween decoration.
Yeah, Devon, will you please put that in your front yard? Listen, I live on a mountain, so I can't put inflatables out. So
that's phenomenal.
Look, he loves it.
I would piss off so many of the neighbors. About seven kids walk past my house.
What's that, mommy? What are those skeletons doing?
Yeah.
About seven kids walk past my house. To go to school.
The parents are going to be mad at you.
And the floats will even be up in the morning time as well when they go. So that'd be great. I can imagine. Mommy, what are they doing? Daddy, I saw you doing that to mommy. How did they know? They take a picture of
it? Wait, what? Why is he sitting on their lap like that?
Yeah, boning.
They're boning. Dan.
Yeah, I mean, you and mommy do that all the time, and you tell me that she fell. I'd be the one to be there. Yeah, kid. She tripped and fell, and your brother was born.
That's how it happens.
That's how it happens.
Okay, so I think it's kind of cute. Depends on where you live.
Yeah, I mean, my stuck-up neighborhood, forget it. This neighborhood would lose.
So that would be where you would put it.
But what's worse, though? It's Halloween, so would you rather have a dead body hanging from your tree or two skeletons making out?
Sure.
Maybe doing more.
They weren't making out. They were screwing.
Whoa. I mean, I'm trying to... Okay, fine. Dead body or sex? Which one's worse? Which one's more offensive?
But if they're bones, how are they screwing?
Listen,
because
both are natural.
Has no vagina.
Well, he's got a boner.
No vagina.
Okay, well...
He's definitely got a boner.
No, he doesn't. Oh, yeah, he got a boner. Just kidding.
Because he's bones.
Because he's bones. I got it.
He got like 216 of them. Yeah.
I got it. Okay.
But where's the guy going to stick his bone?
I mean, there's tons of holes in between those bones, right?
Pelvic socket, yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Just dislocate the hip. There's got a nice socket right there.
Yeah. There you go.
I'm scared to ask how you would know that in terms of why you sound so that you would have know that it would be that good.
Well, I don't know that it's good, but I know that would be a hole because in veterinary medicine sometimes we amputate legs, and I know what it looks like. And then I would think that it would. I don't know if it would fit or not.
Keep digging yourself even more, Lindsay.
I'm just. It's science.
Yeah, I bet it's science.
Yeah,
that's great.
I was just gonna let her keep going. Devon actually kind of saved you there.
And I would probably keep going. Thank you. I would keep going. That's one of my traits.
Well, Devon is being nice to you this week. because
oh, look at that. We're out of time.
No, we're not. We got one more topic to get
Dang
to.
It.
The Miz
oh, look at that.
22.
We're out of time. Bye.
Look
Stays alive. Okay, so there's. Oh, bless. He's so happy.
He's so happy. Look at that. So happy about skeletons boning and the Miz staying alive. Yeah.
Okay.
Dancing with the Stars. He was absolutely in the middle of the pack there.
Really?
Yeah.
Has there been another elimination? Or should we wait till Devon comes back so we can rub it in my face?
Maybe you probably want to get it out of the way now before.
Okay. So all right. So what? Who was eliminated? Not him.
Christine Chu from Bling Empire. Chow.
Sure.
Me and names don't get along. I'm not really good with names.
Same. What's my name?
So happy about Miz. It gave me a boner, Devon Dudley.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's a direct quote.
Feel bad for anybody that has to transcribe this show this week. They're going to have a lot of fun with that.
The bones and stuff and the areolas.
Yeah, but you know that Miz only got one more week and then you lose that bet.
Right, or I win and he gets eliminated.
Possibly. I did tell Devon before the show or the pre-show earlier that all it takes is one screw up, one bad week, and you could win.
Sure. Yeah. And, we don't know what the judges want or what the fans want, actually. Maybe they forgot to announce it on WWE one night and they're like, oh gosh, we forgot to say vote. So nobody voted.
Well, we appreciate that.
Yeah, this show. I thought you meant Dancing with the Stars. Sorry, I was on that. I mean, thank you, Sebastian.
Jeez.
Sebastian.
You got really defensive.
I know. Listen.
Whew.
Okay,
Ouch.
I'm over it.
All right. So I see he's trying to connect, but this is all we're getting here. So.
Did he remember to pay his internet bill?
I don't know.
It's happened before, right? I don't know.
Yeah, that's fair. So on that note, I suppose we will wrap it up, not knowing how long he's going to take to come back to us. So
okay,
we will see what's going on. Do not know who our guest is next week. Somebody always asks at the end of the show.
Yeah.
Haven't talked about that yet, so we'll let you know as soon as we do. Like and subscribe at Wrestling Audio so you can follow along. Lindsay, thank you for your time as always.
And you're welcome. I'm glad I could be here today and share this little hour with you guys.
Yeah, Table Talk fans don't want to see Devon in tights. Maybe.
Really? But maybe you do. You just don't know it yet until you see it, and you'll be like, oh yeah. What am I missing out?
This will be the one time Devon agrees with you, and guess what? We're ending the show.
Oh.